次のゲーム、ソニックオリジンズ、ソニックゾーン2ゲーム目でございます。カテゴリー、ソニック&ナックルズ、エミ&テイルズ、ニューゲームプラスということで、こちら奏者さんはおそらく先ほどのソニック CD レストワードの解説されてた方ですね。このカテゴリー、またこれも結構詳細に分かれておりまして、プレイヤーであったり、プレイヤーじゃない、プレイヤブルキャラクターであったり、エニパーなのか、エニパーというか、ニューゲームなのか、ビートザゲームなのかみたいなところ、いろいろ詳細に分かれております。そして今ね、右下のところで、ストリートファイターが繰り広げられております。こういったところもね、すごく遊び心があっていいなと思います。しかもなんかあれですね、どっちが勝つかっていう投票もされてますね。面白いな。なんか、待ち時間をこうちょっと退屈させない工夫がすごく素敵ですね。そうなんですかね。そっか、録画かな。実際に今戦ってたらそれはそれで面白いんですけどね。さっきのゲームのマグネットセットがめっちゃ可愛い。カービィちゃんも可愛い。
Oh, I appear to have gotten some information, everybody. Looks like our next
CPU
run
vs
is ready.
CPU。
Let's
な
see
る
some
ほ
more
ど。
Sonic in this beautiful
ベガが
Snowball.
勝ちましたか
Snowball,
ね。
take it away.
素晴らしい。42% が勝ちました。
Not a problem. Oh, we're just going a little too fast here. Everyone, we'll be back with that run just a second. I am super excited. I keep looking at these prizes. I want that Sonic ring coin,
GG
y'all.
でした。
It is
ストリー
perfect.
トファイト。
$5 dono. Get it in. Get it towards that Radiant Emerald Super Sonic race. It'll be a good one.
美しい戦いが繰り広げられたところで、そろそろソニックが始まりそうですかね。
Snowball, are you ready for us? Take it away.
始まりました。というところでですね、ちょうどこのタイミングで、私ピエトロもですね、司会交代のお時間となりました。なんてところを噛むんだ。その噛み方はダメだよ。というところでですね、次の司会の方にバトンタッチしたいと思います。一回戻っちゃった？じゃあ、ちょうど良いのでこのタイミングでですね、交代させていただきたいと思います。ここまでのお相手は私、ピエトロでございました。皆様、この後もですね、ジャパニーズリストリームで素敵な週末の夜をお過ごしください。それでは、ありがとうございました。失礼いたします。
Now, I've got a $10 dono from Ember that says, let's get a little bit more Sonic and a little bit more Flame Fatales. Ember, thank you so much. You know what? We're doing great. We need to get more Sonic in this run. I need to see that race, y'all. I need it. I need it so bad because Sonic is so awesome. He goes fast. Who doesn't want to go fast when we're in a speed run?
おはようございます。司会進行変わりまして、白森コルが担当いたします。よろしくお願いします。
That Sonic ring is so good. I can
続
hear
い
the
ての
little
ゲーム、
sound that you would
なんか一瞬映っ
you
たら
get
しいん
when
で
you
す
pick
が、
it up
ソニ
every
ックオ
time.
リジンズ
Those VVV magnet sets.
となっております。
If you weren't around for that
はい、
run,
なんだっけ、
get a look at it.
解
They were
説
just
し
so good.
き
The run was
現在
fantastic.
解説の方おりませんので、引き続き解説できますという方いらっしゃいましたら、フルテ
I
ご応募
do
ください。
want to thank especially our restreamers because we have The Japanese Restream and Speedruns Espanol, who are providing alternate language broadcasts for Flame Fatales 2024. You can check out their Twitch channels and broadcast schedules for both groups by typing !Restream in the chat. We would love for viewers to follow and support their streams. If you're an organizer for an alternate language broadcast and want to assist with restreaming Flame Fatales events, please feel free to reach out to the FF team
Speedrun Espanol のチャンネルでも
gamesdonequick.com.
じゃあリストリームされているので、スペイン語圏の方はそちらにいらっしゃるとよろしいでしょうかね。して私、ソニックシリーズはさっぱりやったことないので、本当にさっぱりなので、どれだか詳しい方いらっしゃいますと非常に助かります。確かソニックオリジンズは最近のでしたっけ
Alright, hey everyone, I'm Snowball or SnowballSMB, doesn't matter, and this is going to be Sonic Origins, Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, Amy and Tails New Game Plus. Sonic Origins, for a quick rundown, is a wonderful little collection of Sonic 1, CD, 2, 3 and Knuckles, and a bunch of the Game Gear titles all thrown into one, complete with a playable Amy Rose added as some later DLC. Since this is Sonic and Knuckles New Game Plus, we'll be playing from Mushroom Hill Zone through Death Egg as quickly as possible with access to all of the Super Emeralds. And joining me on commentary today is...
Hi, I'm Kara. I'm super excited to be here and to go fast.
Yeah, going fast is the name of Sonic and Tails and Knuckles and Amy's game. So I'm going to give a real quick countdown and then we are going to be off. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck です。
This is not an exaggeration.
今回カテゴリーがエミ&テイルズなんで、なんかあんまり見ない2人ですね。てかナックルズがちょっと出てきた。
You're gonna have the little cutscene of Knuckles closing the little
あんまり見ない組み合わせです。
one of the big rings. You're going to grab some ring monitors, try to spin dash to jump way up here, and
奏者さんエミーかこれ。
get a big jump off of that speed shoes monitor to
エ
get
ミー
back
って
up
確
here
か
with
ア
speed
ドベン
shoes
チャーで
that
ちょっと
allow
触ったことがある
you
気
to
がするんですけ
you
ど、
have to angle yourself
こんなに
just
走れま
enough
したっ
to
け
curve back up and not bonk your head on the stage terrain, which is super easy to accidentally do, and that is the perfect set of bounces that you can get. I'm very, very happy about that. I'm going to bounce up here, grab more monitors, hit this spring, jump on down. It would have been faster if I hit that line and hit the transformation button to turn into Hyper Amy. Hyper Amy functions exactly like Super Amy. You're invincible, you have super speed, your jump height is higher, except she has a fun little added ability. If you mash the transformation button while you're Hyper Amy, you just throw an endless stream of Pico Pico hammers at all of your enemies. I have two names for that ability. One is serious and one is very goofy. The serious name is Chaos Hammer Storm. The goofy name is Chaos Home Depot.
I like Chaos Home Depot.
I don't think Knuckles likes Chaos Home Depot, unfortunately. He's flinging us way up here, which is handy because this is the next part of the stage. Missing that jump is a little bit unfortunate because now I have to just play around with that mushroom an extra time. Fun fact about big rings in this game, much like... Oh, go back up, Amy. So, big rings function as sort of the points to the special stages where you unlock the Chaos and Super Emeralds. But if you already have all of the emeralds and you come into contact with a big ring, you will instead get 50 rings from that big ring. And that is very handy because that is the required amount that you need in order to transform into Super and Hyper. So the fact that there is just a big ring directly on the path very early on in the stage is super, super useful because that means that we can pretty much utilize Hyper Amy's extraordinary speed and invincibility for pretty much the entire level. And Eggman did not plan to fight a hyper form.
あ、やっぱり3からで
This
すか。
fight. He's already down to like 2 hits.
なんか投げてる。なんか投げて
And
る。
he's done.
飛び道具。
A rough break for Eggman.
Poor Eggman. And just
Sonic
hit the
が飛び
ammo
道具。
capsule, and that is the first zone done. Next up is one of the most iconic stages from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Flying Battery Zone.
ブロス並みに
and
投げ
also
て
one
ま
of
した
my
ね、ハン
favorites
マ
in
ー。
the
す
whole
んごい
series.
量出てましたけど
But。while this cutscene's going on and the stage is getting started, if there's anything that the host would like to say, now is a great time.
Well, I would just love to say how comfy this is. But also, I really want to remind everybody about that Radiant Emerald Supersonic race in the Sonic R coming up next. So if we get that,
Flying
recently we'll
Battery,
be
空中砲
playing
台。
the Radiant Emerald stage is supersonic, and we gotta get a little bit more towards that. But maybe we can do that, chat.
I believe in Twitch
Yeah.
chat.
I believe
Yeah.
in Twitch chat.
You can do it, Twitch chat. That
I
is
also
definitely-
believe that Twitch chat has the ability to correct me on how to pronounce hydrosity.
We're
because
not
I know-
getting into this debate. That stage is not even in this run.
That's true. There are categories for that discourse, but this one is pure. That's like you said, it's comfy. Let's not ruin
It's
it
comfy,
with
we're not
hydrosity
gonna ruin it.
talk.
Oh no.
In this house, we don't
this
talk
house.
about hydrosity. So I feel like it's important to say this in pretty much any classic Sonic speedrun that Snowball's making it look super easy to fly around here, but if you've played any of the classic Sonic games, you know that the momentum in these games can be wild, as well as, someone mentioned earlier, that really tricky jump in the first level. The level geometry, the hitboxes of certain hazards, they can all be really finicky and not always what you would normally expect. So this is really impressive movement that we're seeing.
I just want to real quick give a quick shout out to the Sonic Mania development team for making this specific part of Flying Battery 1 so much better, because while the exact level layouts for returning stages in Mania aren't the exact same, there still are a lot of similar areas, and that outdoor area is part of the Mania Flying Battery Act 1 layout, and in Mania, you only need one cycle of missiles to hit the floor to open up the holes to drop down. But in 3 and Knuckles, unfortunately, it is 2 cycles. Also, this boss is not winning this fight very well, or at all.
But they're super cute.
That is true. That is true. And now we're moving into the stage that I feel like is probably the most different between 3 and Knuckles and Mania. Flying Battery Act 2. This stage is frightening in this run. There are so many different spots throughout this stage where if I make the slightest misstep, I will get crushed and have to go back to either the start or the latest checkpoint, because these things right here are everywhere and they love to crush hedgehogs, unfortunately. For once, Eggman finally built something that makes sense for actually countering Sonic and his friends.
Yeah, it only
Very
took him a
nice.
few games.
Yeah. And coming up here is the big spot where I have to be careful. This one right here. I have lost a couple of runs to forgetting about that one and charging a spin dash and getting crushed. And I have decided I am never going to make that mistake again.
Yeah, a lot of sources of damage in classic Sonic games involve if you get hit, you lose your rings, and you're vulnerable until you get more rings. But that hazard, there's no safety, no rings, you get crushed, that is it.
Yeah, and even in Super or Hyper State, any of the characters that you play as, can still get crushed and also can still drown. So you have to be careful about moving pieces of geometry that can squish you against anything else, and you also have to be mindful of how far you're going without picking up an air bubble on a water stage. Like, just to list a few, there's, you know, throughout the series, there's Aquatic Ruin, there's Tidal Tempest that we saw in the last run, there's Hydro City / Hydrocity / Splishy Splashy Funtime Zone, there's the most recent one in Superstars with Lagoon City. All of those, it doesn't matter if you're super or not, you still have to be very mindful of where the air bubbles are throughout the stage. But now we have a bit of an auto-scroller before the next boss, so I'm going to throw it over to the host again.
Not a problem. Thank you so much. So I have a $25 donation from Anonymous. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. And I think that, you know, hopefully we can get in that supersonic racing, because that's what that went towards. We're hoping to get that Radiant Emerald stage in supersonic, which is the only way we're going to hear that iconic supersonic racing track. Come on, chat. We can do it. We can get it. It's all for that amazing, amazing track, and all for Malala Fund.
So, I just had a realization that Eggman is still vulnerable when he's below the stage, and the Pico Pico hammers can be thrown through the stage. So, that fight just became like 5 or 10 seconds faster than I thought it was.
Yeah, Sonic games have a very fluid relationship with the concept of solid matter.
Yes.
There are floors and walls and all kinds of paths that are solid and impassable until they aren't.
Exactly. Now we are moving on into one of the more controversial zones, and also my personal favorite zone in the entire series in terms of level design, music, just overall theming, all of it. Sandopolis. I love this zone to pieces. I've always loved these sort of like Egyptian desert-themed stages in games, but Sandopolis just feels like the pinnacle of, in terms of like the theming and all of it, and it's just, it's an incredibly challenging zone. One of the hardest, if not the hardest, in all of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. But it is just so much fun to play, especially once you get those routes down. I will say there is one enemy later in this stage that is a bit of a nuisance because he can just decide to crush you, and that enemy shows up over a minute into the stage without a checkpoint. So he's actually coming up very soon. Going to charge a spin dash here, go around this loop, run on the ceiling, wait for the cycle, run past the spikes, and then it's this guy right here. Hey, do you want to get up? Thank you. Charge the spin dash just to make sure that I get him out of the way for safety purposes, because I don't feel like oh, that's unfortunate. I got a little bit too much height on that jump and accidentally grabbed that handle. Fortunately, it's not... I don't even know if that lost any time, because I probably would have had to wait for the cycle on that spiky piston anyway. But now we have...
エミが活躍するの致し方なしと思うんですが、デリス君もうちょっとね、自己主張してくれていいのよ。本当になんか今のところついてきてるだけにしか見えないんですよ。なんか出てきたゴーレムっぽいの。
He'll come over in a second to have some fun.
You know, it's going by so fast that there wasn't even time to mention it, but again, just the incredible momentum management that Snowball's doing throughout these levels. You know, being flung by those springs and those trampolines and not missing a step when they land and have to pick up speed again. Really impressive.
Yeah, and this is also a stage where having knowledge of each and every cycle throughout the stage is very beneficial, because it is super easy to make one slight misstep and miss a cycle by half a second, and because of that you're losing a bunch of time. Now we are inside the pyramid. This stage is really cool and really hard. There are a few
まだ
gimmicks.
中盤ではないんですかね。
things that you can push that open up some doors. There's the lights dimming, and there's the ghosts getting more and
で、時
more
間
powerful
が
as
42分。
the lights
で、今
dim
13分
further.
なので。
So I'm going to try to keep the lights on as much as I can. As once the lights get to their lowest and the ghosts become as powerful as they can be, they will try to attack me, and that's no fun. So I love ghosts, but not when they're very hostile like this. So I'm going to just grab that lever to turn the lights back on. This is
砂漠の
maybe not
なんだこれ
good because of
ピラミッドみたいな中ですかね。
Okay, good. The cycle on that one I was a little bit worried about because I got caught on an unfortunate
なんともソニックらしい複雑な構成になってるんですが。
not hitting the jumps I was supposed to hit. We're also coming up to the auto-scroller section of this stage that I like to call the Sun-Baked Sandcastle portion of the level because of nostalgia while playing Super Mario
お化け
Galaxy
そう
as
い
a
うこ
kid.
とか。なるほど。
The stage in that game, Sun-Baked Sandcastle, actually just, at least in my opinion, plays very similarly to this section of Sando. So I always just like to call it the Sun-Baked Sandcastle portion. Tails is gonna just fly away, which is fine.
あ、テイルス君活躍してる。
Snowball, those cycles you mentioned, are those on a global timer for each
飛べたんか。
level?
Yes, I believe so. So each
どんどんなんかお化けが
missing one cycle
変わっ
can
てきます
result in
姿が。
missing
あ、テイ
a
ルス君
lot
活躍
more
してる。
cycles, especially with cycles that are as tight as the ones on Thando 1. Alright, nice. Tails was able to get me up to that because I'm very glad that Tails was able to do that because sometimes Tails runs out of stamina or just doesn't pick you up, and you want as much time
なんかお化
to
けはあ
work
れです
with
か、制
as
限時間的
possible
なも
for
んで
that
すか。
section because
なんかちょっとずつ増えたり姿が変わったりしますけど。
really, really tight
うん
on time if you just get up there as the sand is rising up. Because you have
まあ
to
早
push
くなったら
that,
なんかペカペカすると早くなる。
switch a bit to open up the door. But you have to push it a certain amount and the sand is very close to catching up to you at that point. And if you're not quick enough in that situation, then you will tragically get squished and
ニューゲームプラス
there's
っ
a
てなっ
very
てるん
long
ですけど、なん
section
か
in between
クリア
checkpoints,
後
so you
得点みたいな
really
の引
want
き
to
継い
make
でる
sure that
感じですか
Tails
ね。
is helping as much as he possibly can. No, I need to
ソニ
push this
ッ
switch
クで
because
ニュ
there's
ーゲー
no
ムプラスって何が違うのかってちょっとわからないんですけど。
go down here, hit this checkpoint for safety,
ああ、無敵。
and off to the
見た
boss
まんま
we
だ
go.
よ。
Going to be a
無敵
little
だ
bit
と早
careful
くなる。
because I have
なんか出
actually
てきた。
gotten crushed
うんうん。
by the boss, the like stones
boss
around Eggman coming back.
あ、ボスだったな。
I don't know if that's actually
だい
supposed
ぶ
to
無
happen,
抵抗でした
but
けど。
it sure has happened to me, and I don't want that to happen again.
Yeah, that's scary.
Now we're moving on into Lava Reef. This is such a cool zone. Also the zone that I feel like I get lost on the most. Even though I go the exact same route every time, it feels like I'm lost every single time. Going to grab that lightning shield just for a little bit of safety. And this is one of the few times where I'm going to actually like go off of the normal route to pick up rings. Because there are a ton of rings up here, and then I can just drop
う
on
ん、こん
down
なに
and
強かったっ
pop
け
Piper immediately, and
まただ。
Tails is going to be
無敵。
very good friend and open the door for us while we're picking up all of those rings, which is... He's probably making up for the fact that he's going to troll on elevators at some point on this stage, because if you spin dash one way, it goes down. If you spin dash the other way, it
エミ
goes
ーが
up.
スピンダッシュしてる。
And whenever you're going down, Tails loves to spin dash to make it go up, which is, yeah, it's something that he loves to do.
He's trying his best.
Yeah, and you know, no one can really fault him for that.
スピン
He's
ダッシュし
he's
ない
just
と
trying
勝て
to
ないギミックなんでしょうけど、見たことないよ、
get
この
up there.
姿。
Thank you. Hit that switch. There are a couple spots of this stage that are going to be a little bit scary because things move so fast on this stage that there are times where that one specifically, and then one towards the end of the stage, where if you're moving a little too quick, you can very easily get crushed by some of those platforms with the spikes on the bottom. And that's no good, because if you get crushed, then you're going back to the most recent checkpoint you hit. And that's no fun. And here's the one that's at the end, because the reason why that one's so scary is because it goes up such a short distance and then
ソニックができる
swishes
こと大体や
downward.
ってますけど。
So you don't have too much time, especially if you're not in hyper state, to work with there. But now we've got a very simple boss. Just blow up these tentacles with the projectile emitters, and then wait for this hand to squish down and just
てか、
literally stand in place.
うん。
Because even though
Ah,
it's
そういうことか。無
squishing
敵ですね。
downward onto the
無敵
stage,
だか
it's
ら。
not actually like a
何も
squish
しないで終わった。
hitbox. So Hyper Amy can just stand there and it's great. Go ahead.
強い。
Well, I've got a $50 dono from Alien Crustacean who says, how can we even go fast if we don't listen to supersonic racing? And I got to agree with you there, Alien Crustacean. I just also want to let everybody know about a couple of the incentives we've opened up for Uno, which will add the, we have two, one to add the Rabbids deck into the Uno into the thing that will actually replace our default deck with the Rabbids deck. And we also have the ability to add
ちょ
Uno
くちょく
Party
テイルス君
Mania
がなんかワープしてる気がするんですけ
into
ど、
our Uno deck. So
いつの間にか前に。
everybody, let's see if we can get a bit more chaos in that Uno run.
Yeah. I believe in you, Twitch chat.
今度はなんかキラキラし始め
Gotta Uno fast.
Yeah. Yeah. This invincibility might be wearing off at an unfortunate time. Nope,
これも無敵？
just barely got there. Oh, and I
Nice.
forgot I picked up the bubble shield.
なんかさっきと
Usually,
違う
I
エ
end
フェ
up
クトで
missing
す
the
けど、
bubble
なんか
shield,
無
but that
敵っ
time
ぽい。
I just was able to passively pick it up, which is nice for a little bit of added protection. Only Sonic gets the like secondary abilities from the elemental shields. So for Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, you only get like an extra hit of damage, and also with the bubble shield, it prevents drowning for all of the characters. I am going to pop Piper here and hopefully get to a specific part of the stage before I drop to 50 rings, because you need
で、ま
50
た、
rings
これも無敵。
in order to go hyper again. That was really unfortunate. Let's get back up there, Amy.
これも無敵？
I might be able to just jump up. Yep.
あ、無
Okay.
敵だ。
Now I'm going to wait for this to go back over. Jump up, and then there's going to be one more set of collapsing floor there. Jump up here, and Knuckles is going to
ま
push
あ、
a
この
boulder
テカ
at
テカ
us.
してる方が全
And
体
this
的
is going
に
to
性
take
能
us
上が
into
っ
the
てる感
boss
じですかね。
arena
あ
and
あ、
deactivate
これ
hyper
は食らうんだ。
This is important because hyper state, as you all know, gives you drastically increased movement speed. And that
で、
makes
ボス戦です
Amy
か。
a little bit harder to control and super slidey. And there are so many spots on this auto-scroller section where you can just slip into a hole, and it's very tragic. So not having that for this part of the stage is actually advantageous. And then it also gives you the maximum amount of rings that you can have from when you enter for this part of
テレス君
the
落ちましたけ
boss
ど。
fight up
大丈夫
there.
これ。
I'm going to grab the fire shield,
ああ、
drop
戻ってきた。
down here, and hold down to hopefully make it so we don't have to watch all of these platforms fall down.
うん。
And then we have, okay, I guess I wasn't far enough
エ
to
リ
the
ス君だ
left.
けダメージ食らってる。
So, this is one of the boss fights that's ever been a thing. So, this machine of Eggman's is invulnerable to even the strength of Hyper Amy,
敵だからそう
Hyper
何もし
Tails,
なくていい
Hyper
のか。
Knuckles, all of them. But it takes damage from regular old spiky mines. And he just so happens to be firing those at us, and we can't take damage from any of that.
やられ
So,
てる。
yeah, this is the whole fight. So, this is a really good time for any messages from the host.
Not a problem. I am loving this. This is just a fantastic run, everybody. I
エリ
think
スすんごい笑顔ですけど。
hopefully we can get a little bit more in on that supersonic racing
エリス
incentive.
君やられるたんび
We
に
are
上から降ってくる。
7% of the way there. We need a little bit over $1,000, but you know, we can do that, chat. I believe in you. We have the ability to get that iconic supersonic racing song into our marathon. Would it be a Sonic
that's
block
Linda.
without it? I don't know. But hopefully we can do it.
I don't want to find
休
out.
憩タ
I
イム
don't
で
want
し
to
ょ。
risk it.
Exactly. Come on, chat. Get those donos in. We cannot risk not hearing that song.
I agree with
Alrighty.
chat. Tails has a rough go in that boss fight.
Yeah, and you know what?
えらくのんびりしたボス戦で
Tails
したね。
still was up for the test of getting the super early capsule hit, as that was one of the capsules that floats down from above, and Tails' flight is the only thing that can hit it nice and early, and that was, honestly, I think the earliest I've seen Tails ever hit that, so I'm very, very proud of him.
Got Miles.
But now we have another one of the boss fights that's ever happened.
あ、ナックルスだ。
This is top level speedrunning tech.
Good job, Knuckles. So, yeah, Knuckles doesn't exactly know what to do when there's a cute little pink hedgehog with a giant golden hammer just spinning in circles right in front of him. And,
もうちょっとちゃんと
yeah,
して。
now we've got to help him get the
Oh,
Master
got it.
Emerald back because Eggman is stinky.
To be fair, that would disorient me too. I don't know what my strategy would be for that.
うん。
Yeah, I don't know what mine would be
あ、やられ
either.
た。
Probably just lose, like Knuckles'
Yeah,
strategy was.
exactly. Knuckles, he's just like us.
How do you fight a cute pink hedgehog with a hammer? I think Knuckles had a proper response.
Yeah, Knuckles was up against the mightiest opponent he could find. But now, we are moving up into the final two zones. We've got Sky Sanctuary. So Hidden Palace and Sky Sanctuary are both only
Ah,
one
Knuckles
act
ついてき
each.
た。
Hidden Palace is very short. Sky Sanctuary is not short at all. And this is going to be Tails' ultimate test. Will he do big things this run or not? Because Tails saves so much time. And also, you really don't want to hit those spikes there because if you do, then you have to watch that entire cutscene again. And that is
また騙さ
pain
れ
and
た。
agony. So, oh, that was really good. Grab that lightning shield, come up over here.
これはあれか。バリア。
And this stage, you end up fighting Mecha Sonic 3 different times. Once he's in an Eggmobile with the Green Hill Zone fight from Sonic 1. Another time he is using the Metropolis Zone fight from Sonic 2. And then the third time, it's just he's fighting as himself. We actually will be skipping the Metropolis fight because of Tails' just beautiful ability to fly and carry Amy to new heights. That was an unfortunate cycle. This stage does a lot of going up and down. and there are times where you do have to just wait a little bit for the stage to get a little bit lower to jump up to a higher layer. But Tails' test is coming up very shortly. Going to just go along this spinning platform, land here, jump up the cloud,
あ、まだ出て
wait
き
for
た。
that
また上から出
swing
てき
to
た。
come back down.
あ、ちょくちょく
Alright,
先
that
回り
was
してます。
really good from Tails the first time.
どっから出てきた？
Yeah.
Now, the second time, we are going to... I don't like how low that was. I did not give Tails a whole lot of height to start with. Dang, that's unfortunate. That one, that was unfortunately not on Tails, that was completely on me, and I might have made the
あ
exact
あ、
same
さすが
mistake
に制限
again.
時間あるのか。空飛ぶのも。
Nope, we're good this time.
Pickle
Nice,
baby.
good job, Tails.
あ、疲れてる。
Nicely done.
And now I will pop Hyper to give myself some extra speed, as I am going to need it.
これあれ、
Amy,
あ
please
れ
go
ですか
up.
ね。
Amy, please go up. Thank
プ
you.
レイヤーが
And this is another
自
fight
分のタイミング
where
で無敵になれるんですかね。あ、なんかリング減ってる。
Amy being the
リン
new
グ減ってるってことはこれスーパーソニックみたいな状
goddess
態。
of Home Depot is really handy
そういうことか。で、なんか出てきた。
because
なんだこれ。
yeah,
あ、終わった。早っ。
Holy cow.
hammers are super effective against robots.
That makes sense to me.
And now we only have one zone left, Death Egg. This is like the other zones
Death
before Hidden Palace and Sky Sanctuary. This one has 2 acts, and then there's also a little bit extra after like the main boss fight of Death Egg 2 that is the
ほんまに
Death
これ
Egg
ソニックいらないな。テイルスくんだけぶっ飛
I
ばさ
know
れ
that
る。
you did great on the last stage and you're still very pumped up about it, but we gotta go this way. Yeah, this is pretty much just navigating through the Death Egg to the
もうエイミーだけでいいのでは。
so this is another pretty good time for any messages from the host. That is unfortunate.
Not a problem. I have a $100 donation from Anonymous. Thank you so much for that, Anonymous. We really appreciate you. We are moving a little bit. We're moving towards that
なかなか
supersonic
なかなか
racing
殺意高いですね。
incentive. We got a couple other
仕掛け
things
が。
open up right now. I also want to remind everybody that we are
終盤って感じ。
working towards that Frame Fatales has raised $1 million in total. We are
これは何や。
getting real close on that. We are under $5,000 to go on that incentive, y'all.
Oh my
We can do it.
gosh.
We're getting there. We're getting so close. It feels so good.
We're gonna make it! Alright, so now we're going to skip this little track. Unfortunately for Tails, he's not going to skip it. Because that one is very slow and very all over the place, and getting hit there is actually fine because I was able to still pick up enough rings to go along with those monitors to go hyper. And this fight is brutal without hyper state and is very, very quick with it. Now we've got the second phase.
なんかボス戦や大概無敵でグリをしてる感じですかね。
Off the platform. That was maybe the best red eye I've played, so I'm very, very happy about that.
終わっ
Heck
た。
yeah.
And now, one stage to go. Death Egg Act 2. This stage has a little bit of a
ソニックは
gimmick
金
with
ピ
some
カになるやつ
items
と
that
同じ状
will
態ですかね、これ。
change the tilt of gravity. There will be times when we're running on the ground, there will be times when we're running on the ceiling. That is
大
not
概
a
宇宙行
swing
って
that
ま
you
す
want
ね、
to
最
hit
後。
because then
ソニッ
that
ク
guy
シリーズといえ
sometimes
ば。
decides to just end your entire career. Enemies on this stage, I really wish I had picked up that lightning shield because it's very easy to get hit by that enemy right there. I just sort of autopiloted and forgot about that lightning shield. The really powerful thing about lightning shields is, in addition to giving you an extra hit of damage, they
なかな
magnetize
か複
rings
雑
to
で
you.
すね、これ。
So just having that would have been really, really
ソニ
nice
ックシリーズは
for
難しいっていうイメージが私の
a
中
big
であるんです。
portion of this stage, and I almost stopped directly on those spikes because usually I slow down
とにかく
because I
早くて
need
早くて。
to avoid those spikes, but that time the cycle lined up really well for where I
昔
was.
ちょっと兄弟
And now we
兄
have
から借りた
one of
ゲームギアでやったこと
the
があっ
two
たんですけど、
parts of this stage that I
まあ
really
難し
don't
い。
like. These conveyor belt elevator things. Oh well. And then
アドベ
later
ンチャー
there's
ぐらい
going
だ
to
ったらまだ
be
なんか
this really
キャラクターにより
frustrating
ますけど、
seesaw obstacle that is directly before
そこまで難易度高くなかった
that is
覚えはあるん
also
ですけど。
directly over a hole. And it
わあ、
doesn't tell you that it's
so.
over a hole until it's far too late. I think we're
有効
actually
感覚
coming
が
up
ちょっ
very close to that
と、あ
obstacle.
な
Yeah,
る
here
ほど。
it is.
あ、上行ったり
So
下行ったり
it's。the second one that's really scary because there are missile launchers along the wall, and it's a higher jump. Dang it, that's unfortunate. I tried to have Tails just help us save a little bit of time. That is a damage boost that I did not even know was possible, so I
に
will
テレ
take
ス
it.
が忙しくなってきた。
I do need to start being a little bit more mindful of my damage boosts because
ですね、割とこの
the
リングでご利用
boss
せるの
of
は
this stage is so
Ah,
much
遊びやすそう。
faster with hyperstate because of just being able to throw so many hammers just endlessly. So going to get past that enemy, going to jump over that racetrack because it is very slow. And also there is another lightning shield coming up very soon that I will be grabbing. It's
ESP
just
的にもこれラスト
past
ステージですかね、
that
多分。
racetrack skip, I believe. I'm up here, and there it is. And hopefully I won't lose this before the next electricity section
取
because
って、
the lightning shield protects you from electricity,
長いな。
and it's very slow to get
Naga
past
choba no
this
stage.
section without just being able to do this. Grab all these rings.
ここダメー
We're
ジ
going
ゾー
to
ンなんだ。
have okay. I have 10
あ、テイル
seconds
ス
to
君が
beat
とりあえ
this
ずやられ
boss
てるとこ
to
見たら、まあ、ここ
conserve
ダメージ出る、
enough
ダメー
rings
ジ入るんだ
for
なっていう感じ。
something really cool in that big finale. And beating this boss in 10 seconds is really hard.
ハンマー投げてる、ハンマー投げてる。
Oh, that's... Oh my god, yeah, okay, so...
多分もうちょっと攻めづらい敵なんでしょうけど。 遠
It
隔
only
便利
saves
だな。
like a few seconds on the finale fight, so that's fine. Hopefully Tails does not troll here because I just
まだあるんだ。
remembered that is something he can do. So this is the final boss. So time will be coming up very soon.
ファイナルボス。
After the third phase of the fight when Eggman is trying to get away, there will be a fade to white, and as soon as all of the explosions are done
Okay,
and the
okay.
screen is fully blank white, then that will be time. So we've got the first phase with his squishy fingers that we have to blow up. And then after that, he's going to be chasing us while firing fire out of his nose and shooting us with huge laser beams powered by the Master Emerald. I would love to just send Tails off the stage because that would honestly be the safest thing in this fight, because if the boss has taken damage, there's a brief window where you just sort of phase through the boss, and the boss is very much over a hole. But now we have the final phase, the chase sequence. Should be at either 3 or 4 hits.
追いかける。
Somewhere in the range of 3 to 5. I'm not actually sure where he's at this point. Oh, nice. Beautifully done, Tails.
Great.
And...
テイルス君褒められてる。
time.
GG.
What was my time, by the way?
Looking at my timer, I
テイルス君いつの間
have
に。
36:52.
Oh my god.
Oh.
That is a PB, and to my knowledge, I'm the only person who runs this category, so that
Oh my
is
gosh!
world
Ooh.
record.
PB って言ってますから。
Congratulations!
You said 36?
Yep, that is what I have on
パ
my
ーソナ
timer.
ルベスト。
That's my first 36.
Girl, that's so awesome. I'm
Heck
so happy to
yeah.
hear it. Congratulations.
The thing that feels so good about that is my last run of practice that I did yesterday was 4 seconds
イ
off
ベント
my
でパーソナルベ
PB.
ストはなかなか心臓強
Well,
いですな。
that's what your practice got you as a beautiful PB
Wow.
live on Fatals.
That's
That is
right.
awesome, Snowball. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Blue Sky, Tumblr, the whole works at SnowballSMB. I love streaming and playing Sonic games, Super Monkey Ball games, indie games. I also love playing various randomizers and bingos, and I plan on doing some more of that very, very soon. I'm going to just real quick give a few shout-outs. Shout-outs to the Sonic Origins speedrunning community for being
中裕
so
二さん
nice,
って
so
なんか知っ
supportive,
て
and
る
so
な、名前だ
encouraging.
けは。
Always a blast to hang
何
out
か
with
の
them.
方。
Shout-outs to Kara for joining on comms today. Shout-outs to Ophelia for being a fantastic host. Shout-outs to my fellow Amy Rose superfan, Callie Macken, for just being a really, really cool person and friend.
うん。
And shout-outs
飛
to
行機についてくる
Games
イル
Done
カも
Quick and
大概だな、こ
Rain
れ。
Fatals for
すごいな。
having me on for both this and the run of Lena's Inception that I did earlier. Really means a lot. And Kara, do you have any shout-outs?
Just to say thank you to Snowball, thanks to Frame Fatals for having me back on. You can find me on Twitch. I'm at Oh Hey It's Kara. I mostly speedrun games where you play as alligators and crows. So come on by.
Now, those
Well,
sound
that trophy
like
wa-
some
前回のイベントで
fantastic
やってま
runners,
したか
some fantastic people to follow. Please don't
はい
forget to
という
follow
ことで、
everybody. That was such a great
ソニックオ
run.
リジンズ
That was so awesome. I always love it when we can
の
get a、PB
ソニ
live
ッ
on
ク
air.
3の、
Who
エ
wouldn't
ミ
love that?
とな
I have
テイ
a
ルス君でした。
$10 dono that came in
パ
from
ー
a
ソナルベス
Tony
トおめでとうご
Dynasty.
ざいます。
Thank
と
you
いうこ
so
とで、
much for that. There was no comment, but we really,
こちら、
really
準備入りま
appreciate
す。
it.
引き続きフレーム
Now, I do just
バトルズ
want to remind
2020をお楽し
everybody
みくだ
about
さい。
the
一
fact
旦失
that we
礼
have
し
a
ま
couple
す。
of those incentives open. We have the Supersonic Racing, which, if we get to that, Risaru will play the Radiant Emerald stage as Supersonic, the only way that we are going to hear that iconic Supersonic Racing song. Y'all, we don't have much time to get that in, so get your donos into chat. Looking forward to seeing them. We also have a few incentives going for the Uno. So we've got the Uno Party Mania, and we've got the Raving Rabbits Revolution incentive. But now, I would love to let you know that it has been my time with you. I've had such a wonderful time hanging out with y'all over this past week. I hope y'all have a good one, and I'm going to hand you off to an interview with the Uno runner and Ruby Hart. So Ruby and Anarchy, take it away.
How's it going, Fatals? My name is Ruby Hart, and I am so excited to be here with Anarchy ASF, who I know as a legendary runner of